My name is Jeremie Crystal and I am a talent agent. I think I would probably be yellow, or at least I'd like to think I'd be yellow, because I think it's such a happy colour. It's so vibrant and it can be a bit loud sometimes and maybe a bit misunderstood or misread, but I'd like to think that that's the type of energy that I put out, and that's the type of energy I'd like to receive back to me. I think that I need to up my accessories game, because at the moment I'm not wearing them right now, but I'm a prescription eyewear user, and I noticed a change in people complimenting me on my style a little bit when I started wearing a different tint for my prescription, even if it was just for cosmetics. And I've got basically no jewelry, I've got no hats, I've got no like chains or anything, scarves. I think layering and accessories, I really need to boost that. I think for me, self-love is maybe representative of taking care of yourself, obviously, but in a way that is true to yourself and is true to your being, and it can be key to your success. And I think thinking about those things, for me, when I think about a song to pick, it can be a bit selfish. It's a song for me at the end of the day, but not in a way that it would hurt anyone else. And my favourite songs at the moment are Pusher Man by, I think it's Curtis Mayfield, Millionaire by Khalees, and Inspector Norse by Todd Terhey. That's always a favourite of mine. I don't know why. They just feel good songs. There's nothing too complicated about it, but it charges me up and it boosts my energy. And I think when I want to take care of something, I want to take care of myself, I might need that little boost to head into it. And the colour would maybe be baby pink. I like that, like a Cameron baby pink. I just love that colour. It used to be my favourite, but now I'm more of like a yellow person. Ascension means overcoming challenges and struggle, finding yourself, accomplishing great things, whether you realised you were set out to do it or not, whether that was the plan always. Ascension is becoming who you are as a person in some ways. There's a couple that I could pick out. I think a good one would be maybe just before COVID 2019, I looked at the way that I was doing a lot of things in my life and I wasn't happy, and I made so many changes, whether that was just from how I socialized or how I spent my time. I started exercising a lot more, and I realized that within sort of 12 months, I had surpassed everything that I'd accomplished in the last 3 years almost. And then another 6 months after that, it was everything I'd accomplished in the last 5 years. So in just such a short space of time, the Ascension started in, let's say, November 2019. And I would like to think that it's still going today. I think it's being part of a wider community and being part of a team. You need to understand your clients and you need to actually build trust with them. Otherwise, you won't be good at your job in a lot of ways. And I think that it's so rewarding being able to advise or help people in some way who are entering into amazing, realms of their lives. They're public facing, and it's nice to be almost behind the scenes and helping out with some key decisions and maybe introducing other things. At the end of the day, it's just meant to be a benefit to someone. It's just meant to further them, and being a part of that story is a privilege. It's very competitive, and I think it's about sometimes, and maybe I don't always agree with it, but it's about what's newest instead of what's necessarily best and proven. And sometimes people are always looking for a new injection of young blood into things when we maybe didn't figure out or perfect what was there before. I think that systems sometimes where it's about being first and newest can forget a little bit what we've accomplished and what we've seen come before that is amazing. I think organization is a very important one. I smile because it's something that I had to learn. Being punctual, you can never be late, and you can never be awake after your talent in case they need to ask you a question. You need to be very social, and you need to be ready and with a lot of energy to take someone to an event, or take someone to dinner, or to take out a different client or a partner, to introduce them to someone else. I think it's a lot of moving parts. You need to be quite lateral in your thinking, and you need to be able to think about a lot of different things at once without ever losing your personality and your shine. And the one thing I like to pride myself on is that I always like to be quite nice to people, or at least I try to be, because it can be a stressful job, and sometimes that means that, you know, people can snap, people can get upset, but you always just have to remember at the end of the day that you have to represent yourself as how your talent would want you to. And I know that none of my talent would ever want me to go off on someone because something fell apart or something didn't happen or something was late. I think it's always important to just carry yourself in an authentic way that's true to your client. It's such a difficult question, but funnily enough, I was thinking about this the other day in the office. I work with a lot of model bookers, so we were thinking about it. I love Devon Aoki. I think she is incredible. I don't know if she's all-time favorite, but I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone to pay you money to find her looking bad or find something that she did that wasn't incredible. And obviously Fast and Furious 2, come on, that's it. It's kind of nerdy, but the GTA 6 trailer, oh my goodness. When I saw that it leaked, it was supposed to come out at 2 p.m. on the day. I think the day was December the 5th. See, I remember. And it was supposed to come out at 2 p.m. our time. And I woke up in the morning at maybe like 7 something, and I saw that it leaked. And I jumped out of bed. I was tired. I'd been out the night before for work, and I'd got in late, and I hadn't slept my proper 8 hours. And I jumped straight out of bed, and I pulled up my phone, and I started watching it. And I was just getting so gassed and so charged up in the morning. And that was the last thing that I've properly been excited about, which is a bit nerdy, but that's a personal thing. But yeah. It's difficult because I think with everyone, you're always your biggest opponent or your biggest critic, you might say. And you need to remember that this moment will pass, and you're only having this moment in the first place because you're either being challenged or you've got somewhere that's ahead of the last block that you were at. So you had your starting block, you moved past it, you've accomplished things, and now you're starting to worry, well, hey, maybe I shouldn't be here because I started there. And if you just keep with it, you're a bit, maybe not patient, but you persevere. You need to be a little bit tough sometimes, and you need to be also, you need to give yourself a reality check. You need to G-check yourself a little bit, because you need to say, hey, how did I get here? Most times, chances are you got yourself there by yourself, and you need to remember that. So when you have your self-doubt, you need to bring yourself back to how you accomplish things, and you need to say, hey, do you know what? Let's not be arrogant, and let's not think that you're always right, but I got myself here, and I can get myself past this, and I wouldn't be sitting here right now if I wasn't successful and if I didn't deserve to be here. And you need to remember that. I think I had to unlearn a lot of self-doubt. I had to unlearn a lot of disrespect for myself. I had to unlearn a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety and a lot of insecurity. And I had to realize that with those were a lot of things that were holding me back, and I needed to either move past them or work on those areas which I would consider maybe insecurities or things like that to get to where I needed to be. Because one thing I realized is just that you need to do it yourself, or you need to, whatever it is, if it's a social or a mental battle, a lot of the time you need to put in a lot of the work yourself. It's nice to have support, and having support will get you a lot of places. But if you're not prepared to do a lot of the mental work or physical work, whatever challenge it is, then you might struggle to get where you want to be. It's always been the quality, things like the texture of the clothing, the materials that it's put together with, and then the designs, the patterns, the prints, whatever it is, just their link back to, you know, culture, my ancestral culture, our people's culture. It's so authentic to myself as an individual. And every time I've done a shoot, or every time I've appeared in anything for the brand, I've always been like, oh, is there this discount, or is that going to go missing, or is that something that I can just keep for a little longer? Because these are things that I would genuinely wear, hopefully not on a daily basis because it would get boring, but a lot. I'm thinking a lot. It's one word, you know. I think kingdom is a nice word. It might seem a bit random, but it feels regal, the collection. It feels so premium and elevated, and just something that a royal would wear. I just think that it reminds me of that.